Hello, everyone. This is Tom. Welcome to the Lone Wolf Prepper channel for Dukes of Hazzard Friday Night Live. And boy, it's been one heck of a week we went through with that Democratic National Convention. I'm not even going to talk about that because that was just anything un-American was on display there. And that's all I'm going to say. And if their supporters are protesting them like this and they think they're going to win, I just don't see it. But anyway, that's about all I'm going to discuss on that. But, just another crazy week. Okay, a few channel updates. The channel's growing. I am almost up to 500 subscribers. Even though YouTube is doing everything they can to silence me, I'm still almost up to 500 subscribers. So I appreciate all that. The comments I appreciate, even the ones that are derogatory towards me. If you're speaking the truth and how you feel. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Missouri Survival. Awesome. I'm going to do a shout out on you at the end of the show. I tell you what, you're welcome in my foxhole any day, buddy. Okay, that's all I got to say. But anyway, the comments, okay? If that's where you got to open the discussion by insulting me or whatever, at least we're getting to talk. And if you don't like my thoughts of the day because you say they're cryptic or whatever, the purpose of the thought of the day is not just to get you to think, not to get you to agree with me or anything. It's just to get you to think about your own life, okay? That's the deal and thought of the day. And, I realize that there's a few of you that just want me to go away. The talking fortune cookie, I really don't care. Maybe when we can have our country back, I don't have to be on YouTube anymore. Remember, my goal is to get off of YouTube, not stay on YouTube. Hope you're doing well. I've tried to dig into some of your content this weekend. Yeah, I tell you what, Missouri, you're going to find out that I am a Marine that's had enough. And I didn't go over to these other countries, get sent over these other countries to protect our freedom and liberty and do what I had to do to come here back to this country, see it happening here and not expect us to do anything. I always say, I feel like I'm in the chopper and we're circling the hot LZ and the firing's going on down there. We're screaming at the pilots to land the chopper so we can get down there and do our job. Okay? I mean, I wasn't put on this earth to become a communist. I'll just say that. No way. And my kids aren't going to be a communist, and my grandkids aren't going to be a communist, and they're not going to live in a country where the government thinks that your constitutional rights are not absolute. Yep. Our leaders are trying to control demolition here. Yeah, they're destroying everything. Then with a little help. Like I say, what happens if on November 3rd we have a Tet Offensive type situation? You don't think they're above not doing that? We got a military basically come in from the borders. That's on the dole, okay? By the way, like I say, I appreciate the comments. Channel's growing. By the way, I'm getting this stuff from the older creators to get into my first subject of tonight about my channel's purpose is not going to change. Okay, these older creators, I don't know if it was about getting subscribers who get to the top the fastest. There were less creators, so there were more subscribers. It seems like they don't understand the new YouTube. And I'll get into that, the new and old YouTube. But, I'm not going to, if they sit there and say, well, you're not going to get any subs and your channel's not going to grow if you start talking about how we're supposed to fix the government such as revolution, or talk about the problems, or don't use code words, your channel's not going to grow. So basically, if I let YouTube determine my opinion, then my channel will grow. Not going to happen. Okay, it's just not going to happen. I'm on YouTube here to give my opinion. I obviously don't want to be a communist, so I'm not going to agree with their opinion. And since we still live in a country that's have freedom of speech, even though YouTube's algorithms can control everything, and I'll get into that too later, but I'm not. The channel's purpose is still to bring people together. I would love to have a standing force by November 5th to make sure we have a fair election and a force to stand up to what they are organizing for. Believe me, on the other side, Joe Biden already said, yeah, they expect civil unrest after the election. They're preparing for it. Okay, and they got the little foot soldiers, Antifa and BLM and stuff. Anyway, so I wish this is a place to come. And like I say, FBI, yes, I am. I'm trying to organize an opposition force against our corrupt government. Okay? Absolutely. And you're part of the corrupt government. And I have every right by the founding fathers to do this. What else is a Marine supposed to do? Lead me, follow me, or get the hell out of my way. Okay? And since nobody's leading me, I guess they're going to get the hell out of my way, and maybe I'll get some guys to follow me up the beach. Or I'll do it myself. You know, standing alone for me is no big thing. But yeah, let YouTube determine my opinion so my channel can grow. Then you know what? Maybe I can get out and I can sell something and get a store and stuff. And it can all be about money. Our country's falling apart. And we got people that are on YouTube that use code words because YouTube scared the pants off of them. And they're in it for making money. Yeah, the world's falling apart. Democrats are communists. They're stealing everything. They're about to throw you into re-education camps. Do you want to buy this Berkey water filter? I don't understand why these big platforms don't start getting on and don't start organizing. You know, if you're getting 250,000 views a day, get on there and say, you know, all you military guys, you need to start forming units back up. We need you by November 5th. Nothing. They just want to sell you something to survive the craziness. All I got to say is when these communists take over, your preps are going to be just as dangerous as your weapons. They're going to come after your preps, just like they're going to come after your weapons. Okay? But anyway, you know, you want to knuckle under, and the thing is, I am talking about and trying to react and come up with solutions to problems our government is creating. Not what I'm creating. I want to solve the problem. Wouldn't it be nice if they just woke up one day and decided they were going to follow the Constitution, arrest all themselves for the crimes they committed and stuff, and we can get back to a moral country? Well, the only way that's going to happen is the American people stand up. And now, since I got a platform where I can stand up and give my opinion and talk and try to organize a group, I'm going to do it. Okay, all I know is I may not have a lot of subscribers, but after people watch my content, they are true subscribers. Okay, I never had a lot of friends in my life, but the friends I had, I could count on and were true. I don't need thousands of people there that are wishy-washy. I want a subscriber that I'd want my foxhole with me. You understand? And I tell you what, I am not going to give up my freedom of speech or my freedom to think freely or have my opinion because I want a few subscribers and a views. You know, that's the thing about YouTube too. If you apply for getting monetized and stuff, and they have it to where, they review your channel and stuff, and if you get denied, you're supposed to adjust your channel to fit into their guidelines. Freedom of speech according to their guidelines. Yep. That's going to work real well with me. I don't think so. So I really don't care if my channel don't grow at the rate of hundreds of subscribers a day. Like I say, I got to get 10 subscribers just to get credit for 5. YouTube don't send out notifications. You talk about a channel growing like it did, years ago. You don't have that growth potential. The algorithms are in charge. I know this from my analytics, especially when I slip one past them. And all of a sudden, boom, it takes off. Anyway, by my analytics, okay? I know people like hearing what I got to say, and I know a lot of people that don't like to hear what I got to say. I really don't care. YouTube says both you can listen, can hear it. It's just you don't have to listen to it. Anyway, yeah, the government's bringing this on. And like I say, we all need to get together and start forming our reactionary group. For your neighborhood watch and all this stuff, you need to start forming your reactionary groups. Because when they come, are they going to intimidate everybody where they just line up a bunch of buses and everybody just packs a suitcase and gets on the bus? I sure hope we haven't got that far yet. Okay. Now I want to talk, these old YouTubers that are telling us to tone it down a little bit. You want subscribers and stuff? Tone it down a little bit. You need to do this, that, and the other thing. Well, let's look at the old YouTube. Remember when there was no commercials? Yep, no commercials. If it was on there before the Supreme Court did that stupid copyright decision, you watch whatever you want. Free. Like the internet was, when it was first talked about in the 80s coming up, everything was going to be free. People could sit there and share their ideas, and other people could listen to them for free. Remember that? I do. I sure do. But the old YouTube. Okay. Country was in a lot better shape back then. Okay, and this is one thing about YouTube. It was about entertainment because the country wasn't so messed up. It was about learning stuff, okay, which it still is. But it wasn't. We didn't have the problems we do now. So there's a lot more smaller channels creeping up that are coming on that are more not in it for the money, definitely, because there ain't no more money in YouTube. They're in it to get the message out because they don't want to live as slaves and they don't want the family living as slaves. It's a personal motivation. We all have a personal motivation, but it's not to better ourselves. I'm not on YouTube to try to better myself. I'm living in a great situation. I'm on YouTube because I was feeling guilty about living in a perfect situation where anything could happen. I wouldn't have to worry about it. Feel guilty for pursuing my happiness and being happy because I see everybody else just miserable around the rest of the world, Get out of the big city and come here if you don't want to be miserable no more. Okay? But yeah, the country had less problems. So the message on YouTube has changed. Okay. I don't come to YouTube for entertainment purposes. Yes, there's some of it that I'll admit there's some of it I have come on for entertainment purposes. I laugh my ass off. But that's good. Everybody needs a little laughter. But nowadays, the content is changing. I mean, am I supposed to go to the cable networks to get my news? No, who in their right mind would listen to that? Oh, yeah, that's right, the Democrat communists. We see the problem they have. I'm grateful to the channels that have all this news, okay? I don't have the time to do the research they do or the staff. I got a job that I got to do, and I work a lot. But, I'm grateful to them. Shannon Barrett, Good evening, everyone. Hey, Shannon, how are you doing? Welcome to the Lone Wolf Prep channel. Anyway, the country was different. We didn't have the problems, and the message is different now. A lot of us are coming to YouTube, us conservatives, to get the news, to go there where somebody thinks like us. Okay? I don't expect everybody to agree with me, but I know there's some people out there that think that way and are just as motivated as me to change this. Okay, and that's all I'm trying to do is get the message out there. Trying to get everybody to catch up. But we only have till November 5th. And what's that? 8, 38, 38, 69, 74 days to go. 74 days to go. And let's not even forget about Trump being sentenced. Was that on September 16th? I don't know if they're going to put the man in jail. You never know what these people are doing. You know, that's the other thing with Trump. I'm just going to get sidetracked here a little bit. They're openly trying to kill him. Openly trying to kill him. Not denying it at all. And yet we do nothing. Nothing. You know, Kamala Harris doesn't have to be on stage behind bulletproof glass. And Kamala Harris is the bigger danger to our country than Trump could ever be. This is why their screaming minority seems like the majority, because they're that motivated that they will openly. I mean, their goal is to kill him. Everybody knows this. Let's not even go over about the first assassination attempt. Bunch of crap, burnt his butt. Bunch of crap. You know, government, you know, when you get transparent, you know, I love how the president's, this is going to be the most transparent administration there ever was. Since when? What? Through a lead wall? That transparent? By the way, they're openly trying to kill him. We won't do nothing. This is the world we live in now. Where the Democratic nominee didn't get one vote in the primaries. All you Democrats that voted for Biden, I guess you realize now your vote don't count. Kind of like us Republicans, conservatives learned in 2020. By the way, openly trying to kill him. Ain't afraid to admit it. Secret Service is just in as much as, like I say, if you're at a Trump rally, you have just become part of his security detail. He needs all those thousands of people with their eyes open. And if you see something, scream and holler and take care of the shit yourself. I mean, that guy's on the roof firing and people are taking videos. Whatever. Sorry, I'm just the type of guy who jump into action and stuff. Let's see. But anyway, now we'll get back to YouTube. The difference, the old YouTube. Okay, the country wasn't in bad shape, so the message has changed since then. Okay, there were less creators, I guess, fighting for more subscribers. See, that's another thing. In YouTube back then, I guess subscribers are important, views are, you know, I'm more important about my view count and my return viewers, which is way higher than my subscriber count. Okay? Getting the message out. Not about, you know, I don't really care about the money. Our country's in too much of a problem to worry about money. I mean, when the dollar bill becomes worthless, I guess all these people that are worrying about money on YouTube doesn't really matter. Like you say, if YouTube will let me say what I want on it, and it's not going to buy, if I don't take down the money and they run ads on my stuff and they get money from me, as long as they let me say what I want to say, I get my freedom of speech. Sounds like a good exchange, fair trade to me. Anyway, but there were less creators. There was more money in it. You could speak openly. Alex Jones was on. That was one of the first people I started watching on YouTube. Alex Jones. Amongst all the old movies that I didn't have on tape and stuff. I mean, YouTube back in the day used to be pretty cool. Okay, but Alex Jones was on speaking openly, saying what was coming and stuff. Okay? But then they shut him up, didn't they? And then YouTube started taking control over the creators, using the money, canceling, using strikes, shadow banning, taking, especially, I don't have nothing against people making a living off YouTube. It's a business like everything else. But I tell you what, I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I have seen channels not grow at all. In their live feeds have less and less viewers. Okay? YouTube slowly getting rid of them, putting the cuffs on them like they have on us new people. Okay? And that's, when you sit there and YouTube twists your arm into using code words and knuckling under. Okay? Frankly, YouTube can hit the delete button on my channel anytime they want. I feel I'm doing my purpose. I'm trying to spread the word and organize so we can fight these people. But if they want to sit there and hit the delete button and erase me from existence out of Google, that's just fine. Because I tried. And then I'll go out here and I'll still speak to the neighbors. And when I go out in public, I'll still talk because it can't stop me from doing that. But then I'll just do what I was doing before I got on YouTube, before Oliver Anthony. And I'll just go about my life knowing that no matter what happens, it's not going to affect me. That's one thing nice about living in flyover country. Nobody bothers with you. You ain't got a Starbucks on every corner. They don't want nothing to do with you. I mean, I don't even know where the closest Starbucks would be. God, probably 250 miles for sure from here. The closest movie theater, okay, 120 miles. You get the point. Okay, that's where I get my sense of freedom. Watch my shorts, you'll see. But, that's when YouTube started controlling. And then what happened? YouTube started losing money. So they get these ads. But they're losing money because they had a product that everybody liked. They had a store. And they were selling toy horses. Well, let's go with the Beanie Babies. Or no. Cabbage Patch dolls, that's what it was. Let's go with the Cabbage Patch dolls. I mean, if you were a toy store when the Cabbage Patch dolls came out and you didn't have a Cabbage Patch doll in your store, you didn't sell any toys. By the way, you got a bunch of Cabbage Patch dolls. Everybody wants a Cabbage Patch doll. But you don't like the people, the way they think politically on who make the Cabbage Patch dolls. But you want to have them in there to get the businesses there. So you'll have 2,000 dolls that nobody wants, but 10 Cabbage Patch dolls. And then people are smacking each other, knocking each other out. Well, I mean, the Cabbage Patch doll thing was something else. I remember that. This is what YouTube's done. They had all the Cabbage Patch dolls. And then they went to someplace like China and said, what? We can do this cheaper, and we hope that people want it. We'll cut the supply down to what they want and buy a bunch of what they don't want. And it sits on the shelf, and nobody buys it. People want to hear conservative mindset because we are the majority. We want our country back. I don't believe YouTube is going to be in business much after January. If this all goes down like the Democrats want and the fight they want, YouTube ain't going to exist. I mean, the internet ain't going to exist. I mean, you're just a walking dead man. Or you could sit there and Jeff Bezos, get your head out of your butt. Remember what you learned in business school. And watching my short I did. And maybe you might figure it out. Okay? But go ahead, run your business on your political views. I just can't stand that person who thinks differently than me. Really, what country do you live in? Oh, a country where you're allowed to think differently than your neighbor. That's how we come up. We discuss things, have good ideas, and come up with a solution that's better for everybody. Anyway, but when YouTube started clamping down and giving strikes, taking people off the internet for YouTube for a week, having to use code words, restricting what people could talk about, the truth basically. The truth hurt them too much because they sided with the devil. Whatever. So, Jeff Bezos is losing money off his butt because he won't go back to the old YouTube. He's transferred into the new YouTube. What's the new YouTube like? Well, we have lots of commercials. Okay. And I tell you what, some of the commercials are nonsensical. I mean, I try to watch a commercial, especially with people I listen to, because I want to support their channel. Okay. I'm not going to put my credit card into YouTube or nothing like that. But I want to support their channel. So watch commercials. But some of them commercials, I mean, it's not like the 70s, 80s, and 90s, I'll tell you that. But also YouTube is turning into, there's a lot more newer channels that are understanding the new way YouTube's running as a business. We're not in it for the money. We feel motivated. We want to get the message out. And we're happy that YouTube does that. But I notice YouTube's gone away from the strikes. Haven't gone away from the shadow banning and the censorship. But they've gone away from the strikes because I think they found out that may have been illegal. And especially, like, say, if you got a business where you're supporting your family on your YouTube money and you're good at it, and they basically shut your business down, there's lawsuits there. And I think YouTube figured that out. And I hope if this goes through, Trump gets in the office, these social media platforms need to be broken up. And the CEOs need to go to jail, okay, for years for violating our constitutional rights, okay? YouTube is now the town square where people gather to speak their opinions, okay? Now, the city didn't make no money off of that. YouTube, you're making money off it. You can make a lot more, like I say, if you put all those Cabbage Patch styles back up there instead of Chinese garbage you want. Anyway, the new YouTubers, we're more motivated. Maybe we're coming late to the game, you might say, but it's good because we're the relief players. And with the new rules, especially, they're not going to intimidate me. You can't say this, you can't say that. You need to adjust your channel and start bring your comment this way and your content this way and not be so judgment or critical of this group and stuff. Forget that. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. For them telling me to do that is for me to get married to a woman and tell her then it's okay for you to change me now the way you want me. Main reason marriages break up. If I can't be myself on here, YouTube, hit the delete button. Because the channel is continuing to grow. Okay? But anyway, yeah, we're motivated. I'm not saying you guys aren't motivated, but my God, don't judge my channel. You have no understanding of my purpose in this channel. Like when Pinball went off, and I still watch Pinball, okay? But when he was talking about small creators, and if you haven't Oh, I'm sorry. What? This is one thing about me. Once I get talking, I forget to watch a feed. Shannon. Oh, yeah, that tapestry behind me here. I hope you're still there. Let me get out of the way. That is my dream location one day. I got that because that's where I want to retire. Yes. I hope you're still there. Oh, I know. That's my dream. That's my pursuit of happiness. You know, I got a Lone Wolf's Wild Kingdom channel. YouTube won't push that at all. No matter what I put on there, that's the channel I'd like to have for retirement, where I could sit there. I got video of this hawk nest all through up until the babies left the nest. Okay, from when she was laying on the eggs. But that takes time. I mean, I live in a Wild Kingdom natural refuge here. I would love to do that and get off this, but YouTube won't push that channel. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's my pursuit of that's my retirement goal. How much is that going to cost? Nothing. If this world blows up into craziness, I can head for the mountains and have that tomorrow now, can't I? Yeah, if you go on my short, Shannon, you'll see my horses. I got a black mare I call Beauty, and I got my retired gelding, that's Kiowa. I'm a cowboy and stuff, so, but, you know, one of those childhood dreams, my pursuit of happiness, just another adventure I went on, and after, months and months and years of training, well, it didn't take that long, but I mean, learning horses and stuff, I'm up to where I train them and everything now and stuff, but another one of my pursuit of happiness. And the best thing about it is I went to accomplish a goal, and it was cold in the wintertime because I went out to the mountains of Wyoming in the middle of the winter to learn how to rope and ride. Okay. I do it that crazy times. But anyway, I accomplished the goal. A smile on my face the whole time. But, I took my bruises. There's a reason why there isn't no heavy-set cowboys, okay? Riding a horse all day when you're moving cows, especially when it's hot out, you're sweating, even in the wintertime. When you're gathering up before you string them out and move them, you're sweating just as bad as the horse is. I mean, Ricky used to have icicles hanging off his nose and stuff. And that's when you start walking and you're moving them, and that's when you start getting cold. By the way, back to the new YouTube. YouTube controls everything. See, I get this thing, analytics, all right? And every once in a while, I try to slip something past their algorithms. And one of them I got past was the one of Tim Waltz's purposes in life. Okay. Boy, that one took off. But boy, when YouTube figured out what it was, they shut that baby down fast. See, that's when YouTube, when I get through, I know what my channel's potential is. And it's just because we're all pissed off. I wish everybody would start a channel if you just put one video on there. One video. Tell the federal government what you think of them. You can pick up your phone, start a channel, doesn't take nothing. Within 10 minutes, you could have a video on there telling the federal government what you think of them. I want 200 million channels saying that. So when they come try to sit there and say Kamala Harris won the election, say bullshit. So they hear us as loud as we hear them. I know I can never get that. But like I say, just one video. You have your chance. You got your phone in your hand. You can get on YouTube, make a one video, and tell the government what you think of them. It is your God-given right that is supposed to be protected by our federal government. Okay? Anyway, but YouTube controls everything. How many times it's been on the feed? This is the way it works, especially with your shorts. The more times on the feed, the more views you get, the more subscribers you get, and the shares, and the word gets spread. You know, I'm the 400 view king. Between 400 and 500 views. Now, lately, a few of them get past that. I actually got one that's at over 15,000, me picking up bales. Me picking up bales with the bale processor. Over 15,000 views from all over the world. But, you know, views that, shorts that are, you know, YouTube don't like, that other people like, where they're running 100% view rate, over 200% duration, so they're watching it over twice. Okay, and they're leaving comments and likes. The last thing you want to do is put that on there, right? You know, how do I get a short of me picking up bales get on the feed over 20,000 times? But some of my shorts don't even get on the feed 6 times. Like the thought of the day I put out today. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't canceled you for that. I read the King James Bible for my channel. Right. No, but that's incinerator. You can talk about the devil all day long on YouTube and at school. And all that stuff. I'm surprised they don't have prayer rooms in schools now for Muslims. But you bring up God. I'm a defender of God's word, and I fear no evil. So bring it on, devil. Coward. Okay. But, you know, one thing, after Oliver Anthony, and he went viral, they changed those algorithms. They will never allow that to happen again. Ever. Okay, I just want to say one thing to the other side. If you guys are so right, you got all the support, how come nobody on your side's come up with a motivating song that's went viral like Oliver Anthony, or this new one that I heard, Trudy Soulsby, TRUDYSOSBE, her Trump song. Awesome. And all the other ones out there. You don't ever have the left coming out with songs like that. I mean, how would you sing a motivating song about an abortion van behind the Democratic National Convention, or our borders being overrun? Hi, Janetta. I mean, what kind of positive song could they write? Or no, I'm sorry, that's right. Our songs are bashing their side. What songs could they write bashing us? Bashing freedom and liberty, independence. Okay? Be able to keep your money. Going back to the Constitution. What kind of, I mean, it would sound like a patriotic song if they wrote one about us. Anyway, I'm just saying, if you guys are so great and stuff, where's your song? You know, let's not talk about all the fake video they had out of the convention and stuff. You know, that's the thing about Democrats. Nothing but lies. They will do anything to achieve the ends, okay? The means just, I mean, what's it? The ends justify the means. Okay, whatever. They don't care. They have no conscience. I mean, we're trying, people get on there and on YouTube and are trying to understand why the Democrats could possibly be like this. Stop thinking logically when it comes to liberal Democrat communists. They're not logical thinking people. Okay? Think of your criminal down the street. That's how you deal with communist Democrats. Okay? That's who you're dealing with. Somebody who will take your children, not only all your money. Okay? I'm not either a Republican nor a Democrat. I'm an American. I don't follow no flag. And this is one thing I wish Trump would do. Get away from the establishment. You know, the thing is, we're going to have an election, right? and let's say it's not stolen, and let's say Trump gets in, and Trump gets 4 years to shake it up a little bit, stir up the hornet's nest, but the rotten core of the apple's still going to be there after he leaves. I mean, we have to totally gut it. I mean, we have to reinstate the Constitution again. I'm an American. I believe in the rights for all Americans. This Democrat and Republican thing. It just divided us so much we can't even get along anymore. How do you interpret the Constitution? Well, if you're a Democrat, you look at it this way. A Democrat sees the word of abortion in the Constitution, but cannot understand what the word shall not be infringed means. That's what we're dealing with. We interpret the Constitution of the government says it handcuffs the government, makes them protect our right to pursue our happiness, and keeps them out of our lives as much as possible. But over the last 240 years, started out with a cabinet of 3. What are we up to, 26, 27 secretaries for the president now? Well, that just means 23 or 24 more ways they had to decide to get involved with their lives where they weren't allowed to. This is what Trump needs to run on. We need to go back to the basics. When your life is just completely falling apart, completely, you just got to go back to the basics and start from scratch. We got a good Constitution that just needs to be enforced by a moral people. Enforced by a moral people on a government. Okay? If that government doesn't want to do the people's duty, then that government gets thrown off. But I tell you what, stealing all our money to give to fight for these wars, $85 billion. Yeah, Afghanistan's got a great military now, doesn't it? I still don't understand that. We went overseas. We took our gear with us, all of our equipment. When we came back, we had all our gear with us. I'm just saying that's how we got stuff. Because the dogs would check our bags for explosives. So we got it back other ways. But anyway, I didn't really say that. But anyway, how did they leave the country and not come back with their equipment? And then all these units came back to the States and got resupplied with new stuff? I don't quite understand how that works. Like I say, I know how the military runs. I've been deployed, and it makes absolutely no sense. Okay? It was left there on purpose. And like Fast and Furious, I'm sure those weapons will be used to kill Americans in no time soon. Okay. Anyway, that's the new YouTube, okay? And I'm not going to change my channel just because YouTube doesn't like what I have to say. They can always hit the delete button. They're in control. But as long as I'm going to be on YouTube, I'm going to speak what's on my mind. I'm going to speak the truth, and I don't care who it offends. I love the comments of all the comments. But I tell you what, it's hard to try to have a discussion. If I were to go over to my neighbors and I was having a problem with my neighbor, I would be calm with them. If I've seen these videos of these Karens and these just going crazy. How are you supposed to have a logical discussion with somebody like that and solve a problem? Okay, good night, Kristen. By the way, this is what I'm talking about. We're dealing with people that want to be slaves. Okay? They're in a cage with the bars, looking at us through the bars and telling us we don't know what freedom is. But as long as they're in that cage, anything goes and they will be taken care of. Anyway, boy, I don't even have time for my other one, or I am going to be on YouTube forever tonight. I have to remember at times that you can't argue with stupid to get them. Yeah, it doesn't get you nowhere. The thing is, like I do, don't argue with them. Get them to the point where you got to get them to think where they quiet. You get that look, they get that look, and either you'll get the comment, "You're a racist," or they'll just, and they'll walk away. But you got them to think. And that's what hurts these people the worst, is when those cogs start engaging. Okay, well, this next subject, I am not going to have time for. I'm going to have to save that for Sunday night. It's the time in the trenches. God, I wanted to get to that one too, but that one's going to be an hour. This is how messed up it is. I can sit there and get on YouTube and talk for hours. And it's only been 5 days since I was on here last. When are we going to solve this problem? Okay. Now, I'm not going to run up much over an hour, Jeanette. I'll cover that on Sunday. But time for the trenches. What I mean by that is this younger generation that feels they're not ambitious enough, or they don't want to be plumbers or electricians or do road construction or be farmers and ranchers, or, the jobs where it gets your hands dirty. You make good money, but it gets your hands dirty. You're out in the elements and stuff. They're not ambitious to have them jobs. Well, my subject on Sunday in the trenches is basically between the ages of when you graduate high school to your kids leave your home. That is the hardest years of your life. That is where you learned the most lessons about life. That's where you turn from a Democrat into a conservative. Okay? Because you start living in the real world. And you got to do that time in the trenches just like we did. Okay? And I went in the Marine Corps and then came out and still did my time in the trenches. And I'm still doing. Tomorrow I'm going to be 57, and I've been doing manual labor for 52. And I got to listen to you people at 22 saying, "Oh, I started working when I was 15 and 16. We're at a convenience store. I was out at 5 years old, no matter what the weather was, doing chores long before school started. And then when I got out of school. And when I got in high school, I was still able to do sport. But that's going to be the subject for Sunday. Okay? You need to do this time in the trenches so my old ass can retire. And these are the people that are going to be fighting the Russians and the Iranians and the Chinese, right? Not even enough ambition to become a plumber, but they're going to become a Rambo. That's going to be the subject on Sunday. Like I say, I got a lot of that. I'm not going to go into it tonight. I didn't realize I was running this. I just don't want to go in there for 2 hours. The thing is, the analytics show that people start dropping off, and I have started dropping off. But they do watch a replay. Okay, and that's one thing. If you watch a replay, fast forward to it if you don't like it. Okay, that part. Because I can get long-winded sometimes and stuff, and maybe a little bit more detail than people want to listen to. But, that's just the way it is. Okay. So we talked about the new and old YouTube, and I'm definitely not going to change my channel's purposes to please anybody. Okay? You're not forced to listen. Okay? And I know, like I say, I know my subscribers are true subscribers because you watch my stuff. You obviously know where I come from. And that's one thing why I do my post, people would write a post. I do it saying it because you see my emotion, you see me. It's honest coming out of me. I'm not hiding, okay? I'm not going to hide behind a mask. I have no problem standing up and saying, this is who I am. Okay, now, like I said, we got, 74 days before the election. Okay, you need to be prepared to be able to bunker in for at least 30 days. Or I'd even say to the 1st of January. If you're in a colder climate, it's going to be hard, but bunker in. Things could get crazy, okay? Everybody's going to have their purpose for when things get nuts. Okay, and it's not going to be all like me where I go to the front lines right away. Anyway, I just feel highly motivated. But you need to get everything organized. You need to go over your preps. If you have to bug out, you need to walk that. If you're in the city, get out. If you're a conservative in a city, especially in Portland and Seattle, Chicago, get out. I mean, are you willing, when you're finally dying, when you're getting the coup de grace to you, you're going to finally realize, well, I guess I could have got out a little earlier. 74 days. You say, I'm not into early voting, but if you can't move out, vote. Be out, vote early, be out by that Saturday, and at least plan on being gone for a week. This is a crazy world we live in. Like I say, the most dangerous candidate to this country isn't surrounded by bulletproof glass. But the candidate that's most dangerous to those pricks is surrounded by bulletproof glass because they are openly trying to kill him. And the Secret Service just can't do nothing about it. Just like they can't figure out who had cocaine in the White House. I mean, how stupid do you think we are? Okay, I realize that kids aren't getting an education these days. I don't care what kids say. You guys are getting screwed over. You're not getting an education. Okay. That's why you're dependent on the government. If you got a good education, you realize, hey, I can do a lot more without somebody holding my hand. They're just holding me back. Okay. Anyway, and then, if you're in the city, you're going to have to be able to react at a moment's notice. All your kids are going to have to be locked down. They're all going to have to know a meeting place. Just get out of the city. It's not going to be safe. The cops aren't going to be there to protect you. They're going to be worried about their families. Anyway, 74 days. You're a prepper. You got a hurricane that's 74 days away. A hurricane that might last 6 months. Okay? Get prepared. And like I say, we got the Trump sentencing September 16th. What a bunch of criminals. I guess at least in prison, they're not, well, I guess they could kill them there too. I mean, it'd be being protected by the Secret Service that's on the side of the people that are trying to off them. What a deal. Okay. One thing I've been watching is new channels, okay? The smaller ones, the ones that, come on my feed, I like them. Because frankly, I'm getting sick of the defeatist attitude and hurry up and be scared and buy something from me YouTube channels. And it's amazing how YouTube don't have a problem pushing those channels because they're pushing the agenda. Fear, panic, and division. Okay? And when I see channels where the guys are all for the Second Amendment and really patriotic and are going to say, well, they steal the election, know it's coming. It's just what we'll have to deal with it. They talk about the future under Kamala Harris administration like they're going to accept it. How am I supposed to watch that anymore? When I got people like Missouri Survival, a guy I gladly have in my foxhole, nobody's going to tell him what his limitations are or what he can and cannot say. Way to go, Missouri Survival. Check him out. Highly motivated individual. Okay? Just check him out. I'm not going to go any more than that. But if you feel you're a little down on yourself, go to his channel. He'll motivate you. Two American farmers. I love these guys. They're out of Tennessee. They're look like guys about my age. By the way, I mean, I just really like them, especially their shorts. That one guy, he doesn't say much. He's kind of like the guy in the background, Entertaining. They're entertaining. Their shorts are entertaining. Mine, I'm not being on here to be entertaining. If you want me to be entertaining, I'll get up and do a stand-up skit. I think with all the stuff that's going on in the world, that'd probably be pretty easy for me. But Two American Farmers, great YouTube channel. Sonny Shorts, he's a good Second Amendment guy. A good person. On the right page. Serving God, not serving our government. Okay. And then we got, he used to go by Impeach Joe, but he's now Bye Biden. Buhbye Biden. He's out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, the home of Camp Lejeune. I watch him quite a bit. He's got some cool shorts and stuff, drives around listening to music. Just good old American. What it used to be. That's one thing you younger generation don't understand. Okay? We used to be free. And we wanted to remain free. Like in the Breakfast Club when Emilio Estevez is talking about not wanting to live with your parents. Okay? Now it's changed into, hell yeah, I can't wait till I get to move into the basement for the rest of my life. Because somebody will take care of me. Anyway, and then Kelly Ray. She's good conservative woman. Okay? I like her channel too. She's got some good posts on there stuff. Intelligent woman. Okay, she was at the Democratic National or no, the Republican. She must be at the Republican. I can't remember anymore. That's one thing about being a creator is you don't get the time to be a fan on YouTube. I mean, when I get home, I don't get service out here in the middle of nowhere. So I got to get home when I get on my Wi-Fi. And, if I get the chance where I can watch some of them live and stuff, but, it's hard. But that's one thing about being a creator. You don't get to be a fan like you used to. And then you find more channels. I found out being a creator, I have definitely found out more channels, okay? But anyway, those are some of the new channels I've looked up, okay? But, the new YouTube is nothing about making money or making a living off of it. It's all about getting on here, and spreading the truth, okay? And Jeff Bezos, when you let the truth start being heard on YouTube, you'll start making money again, okay? Most people are sick of the Twilight Zone fantasy world you guys have created and pushing this stuff on us. We no longer believe you. Okay? If you got to put one of these crazy guys putting on makeup, got to put them on the feed 3 million times for them to get 30,000 views. Well, guess what? You're wasting your money. Because I know it costs you money to put content on the feed. So you need it watched. I understand. When I'm running 70 to 80%, even 100%, don't get on the feed. But I do understand too. I know the purpose behind it. You can't silence the truth. Like that one short I made. Trying to silence somebody eventually makes them the loudest voice in the room. Just like you do every time you do this to Trump. You just don't learn. Because it's all about feeling. Anyway, I just want to do a shout out to those channels. Anyway, I'm headed up on this hour here. I will be back on Sunday to take care of my other half of the program. Anyway, I'd expect to go this long, but I'm not going to go 2 hours. By the way, I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate the channel growing. Spread the word, everybody. Get the truth out. Okay? And start organizing. We need to show them that we love our country and we are willing to stand up and die for it, especially fight for it. Okay? Anyway, this Lone Wolf Prepper out.